Okay, so our guest today, we've had a pleasure of having Cartridge Fun on YouTube. Also goes by Nate. Been subscribed to your channel for a little while now, and I usually catch every video.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Thanks.
How do you like how your YouTube channel's going?
It's going pretty good. It's a learning process. I really obviously have had no YouTube experience before, and like the whole reason I started it was just where I live and where some of you guys live just really isn't. There isn't a lot of other people that share the same, excitement about video games, especially retro ones. And so I felt like I was really bugging my wife by talking about them over and over and over again. And she's like, "You really need to find some friends." And I was like, "Well, I'm gonna put out, I guess, a YouTube channel, and I feel like I'll be talking to someone, and you have like kind of connections. I've met some people through YouTube and Twitter, and so it's been pretty fun. I just upload when I can. It's not like I have a set schedule or anything like that. So I definitely want to focus on video games and not making videos about them all the time where you have to worry about, okay, I got to get this done. So it's been fun to learn, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I like how you said, basically, I'm in the same way that, hey, there's nobody around here that really does any type of retro gaming around here. So that's kind of how I met Ryan, was basically through YouTube in a roundabout way.
Right, and I was shocked to meet Ryan. I was like, "There's another one here? Oh my gosh!" Like, I thought it was the only one that has Mario stuffed animals, and it's not weird. So,
Well, to be fair, it's still weird, but at least
it's
there's more.
still weird. Yeah, I'm not alone.
Yeah, it's like so weird that we've all kind of connected through YouTube just randomly, and yeah, it's crazy to think like I would have never expected there to be the community that there actually is in our area when you come to like meet people, and it's kind of cool, and it's always interesting when you get to meet other people who are into your hobby to the extent that we are. I think, and that's YouTube is a great outlet for that, and and you're doing it the right way. I mean, definitely by not putting the emphasis on I got to get content out and just like doing it naturally and still getting to enjoy your collection. That's key.
Right. And I have no like technical background, so just learning to edit videos, I'm like, man, this takes forever. You got 3 hours of editing, 4 hours of editing and rendering, and oh, did I get a shot of this or whatever? It definitely takes a lot of time and a lot of learning, and it's fun to like go back and watch like my first video and just see like it's gotten better. It's not the best production ever, like Metal Jesus Rocks or anything like that, but it's good enough for what I'm using it for. I'm not like, yeah, now I need this as a full-time job. I haven't jump shipped or anything like that.
Yeah. Given YouTube policies lately, that's probably a bad choice to begin with.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
they demonetize everything.
Well, the good news is my channel is so small, so there's no monetization option. So I had it for quite some time, and I think it was there by accident. And then I just got this random message that said, "Well, we're sorry, you don't have enough views, so you have to take your monetization option away." I was like, "Oh no!"
I think they just changed it, didn't they? Like they upped like the minimum you needed. I think that was like a pretty recent
10,000, right?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Which for us little guys, it's very tough.
Oh yeah, definitely. So for anyone who hasn't like seen your YouTube channel, I guess what do you kind of focus on, like video types?
Yeah, it's all retro gaming. I'm a big Nintendo fanboy, I guess you could say. But I love all things Nintendo, and so I just kind of do a video once a month on just like things that I pick up throughout the month, video games, toys, whatever. And then I have a few videos of just doing some game hunting, but around in this area it's very difficult because I don't feel like carrying a camera into a store and being that guy. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, stuff like that. It's definitely a family thing too. My kids probably like Ryan as well, where your kids just get involved because you are passionate about it, and then they become passionate about it. So you know, I've had them on. You know, I think my son he bought a couple of Game Boy Advance games, or he got some for his birthday, and he felt like, I gotta share this on YouTube and tell the world what I got. And so, like, I don't know, maybe I've started some crazy monster or something like that, but it's been pretty fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's always great when you can bring your kids into it and get the family involved.
Yeah, and it's definitely not like a time separation, like where, okay, this is video game time. It really kind of just all blends together. I was, you know, before this podcast, sitting down playing Odyssey, and my son's been like watching the whole time, and so I don't play it unless he's down here, so he can see, you know, how it's going, and he kind of follows along with the story, and so it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked your last video too, where you talked about how you got the whole family like calculating like shipments of those McDonald's toys.
Yeah, so Ryan tagged me in like the 3 things I'm most proud of. And when he was tagging me, I was like, I don't even know what a tag video is. This is like my YouTube experience. I had no clue what a tag video was, so I was texting him. I was like, what is this? What am I supposed to do? And so it took me a long time just to narrow 3 items down, which I'm sure it took you a long time too, because there's so many things you're like, oh, I love this. And when you really started, or at least when I was really starting to think about it, it was like some of the simple things where I'm like, oh, that's just the coolest thing. Like mine are, you know, the McDonald's toys that were released last year. and literally the family was going crazy. We were like calling all the McDonald's, figuring out when shipments were coming in. I'd stop in, which ones do you guys have? And they're like, oh, we get new shipments every Thursday, and so yeah, it was absolutely ridiculous. Which, you know, in hindsight, it wouldn't be as fun, but you could have jumped right on eBay and spent $20 and got them all, probably free shipping. But it was definitely the hunt. Kids were doing it. I was making them eat all the chicken nuggets. I was like, keep on going. We got to get another one. So yeah, for a few weeks we were a little unhealthy because I would make so many stops, and you just can't stop in and get a toy. I was like, I got to get a shake and whatever else. So
that's awesome.
That's pretty fun. Yeah.
So, like outside of YouTube, and like as far as obviously you collected and had the passion before you did the YouTube thing. So like, I guess like, what's your background on like collecting? Like, how long have you been into the retro gaming scene, I guess?
Yeah. So like I said, Nintendo is my thing. I got my first Nintendo in it must have been 89 or 90, somewhere around there. So I was a little late to the game, but I was pretty young. I was 5. So that kind of started. That's what I did. I just played over and over and over again the games that I had, and so I had a cousin that, to make the story, I guess, long, but I had a cousin that they had a house fire, and I felt like he needed some toys. So this was around 1996 or 7, and he was pretty young. So I did the crazy thing by giving him my NES with all the games, everything that I had. So I thought like he would really enjoy it. But as soon as I did it, like I missed it. I missed, 96, 97, that was like Nintendo 64. And it just wasn't the same. I played my NES all the time. And so it was about like 2007, I started really like, I need to buy one. I need to get an NES, and so 2007 is kind of when I really started again. And it turns out my cousin still has all my stuff. So Jesse, if you're listening to this, I need it back for sure. Yeah, he's got all my games and everything. But Yeah, so 2007 I kind of started again, and I honestly had no clue that it was even a thing, like people collecting. I'd hit up garage sales, and it was very like slow process. And I think in the last probably 5 years is when I really started kicking it into gear, where I love looking for the games, especially the NES. That's kind of my pride and joy and what my collection is focused on. And it's not a massive collection, because I literally just buy garage sales, flea markets. I hate buying retail. It drives me nuts because it's so expensive. So yeah, it's really been the last few years I really started collecting more heavily. But then, like I said, then I decided to jump in YouTube because I just felt like I was kind of by myself for a while, and I was watching like other YouTubers, like Retro Liberty or NES Complex, stuff like those guys, and I was like, man, I just really feel like I should share what I have and just kind of see what other people have as well, and kind of jump into the community a little bit.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
So you've been doing this a little while. I mean, obviously, when there was actual NES games at garage sales.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. It's few and far between for sure. They're still out there though. I'm that annoying guy when I go to garage sales. I skip the tables and go right up to the person and say, "Do you have any Nintendo games?" And then just list off all this stuff. And I've had a few times where they, "Oh yeah," and then they pull it out of their basement or something like that.
Really? Cool.
Really? I've never had that work for me. That's awesome.
It doesn't happen often, but it's worked out a few times, and so yeah. But I feel like even this month, I felt like I've been game hunting on a pretty regular basis, and I just wasn't finding anything squat. Like, it was just all junk. Wii games, Just Dance 2017 stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's part of it. I mean, all of us here are in very northern United States, and this time of year when it starts getting cold, there is no garage sales. There's nothing like that anymore. And honestly, like where you guys are at, like a lot of the honey holes that used to be there are just gone now too. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, not only have prices gone up on games, just the availability is not there.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it helps either that you've got like the mainstream buzz that's happened just recently, like the last 3-4 years with, Storage Wars and stuff like the Pawn Stars, where people get that crazy notion that this 1980s Nintendo game is worth a ton of money and they know nothing about it. So it seems like you don't even at garage sales, you'll see stuff sometimes that's just insanely priced because people really think they have something, which...
Oh yeah, like even Mario Duck Hunt, there's times that the guy's like asking $30 for Mario Duck Hunt, and you're like, that's the most common game ever created. And the guy's like, well, do you understand there's 2 games on this one? And I'm like, yeah, I understand that. You're crazy. Yeah, just if Mario's on it, they think it's gold. So
yeah, I say it all the time. Like, I just kick myself when I think back to like high school and stuff, when I would go look for these games, and I would literally like laugh at people when they had NES games and Genesis games and Super Nintendo games for like $2, because I'm like, these are worth $0.25, and then I'd like walk. Like, I walked away from just piles of games. Such an
stadium
idiot.
Events. This is stupid. I'm out.
And now, if I walked into a garage sale and everything was flat $2, like I would just buy everything and like.
I wouldn't even look at the label. Yeah.
No, I wouldn't care.
No, I'm the same way. $2 that's a good price. Even now, it's like $5, which still seems like a lot. It's like, that's still a fairly good deal compared to a lot of other places.
Yeah, it's definitely like a moving target. I mean, I used to be like $3. I'm not paying anything more than $3 for any NES game, and now I'm Like $10, I'll grab that. It's just nuts. It's been like 2 years, a 2 year difference almost.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's funny. So I still go into like the retro stores just to see what they have. We have a couple in town, and it's funny. Like you could go in one week. Like I saw bases loaded for one time for like $30, which is kind of expensive. And I went in like a month later. That same game is sitting there, and it's $45, and it just keeps on going up in price, which is absolutely insane for bases loaded.
Yeah, and nobody buys it. Yeah,
right, and it just sits.
Was that Electronic Underground? I'm guessing on that.
No, that's Rock 30.
Oh, really? Wow. Yeah. Usually the like sticker shock I get from Electronic Underground or Electric Underground or whatever.
But they have the buy 3 get 1 deal, no matter what.
True. Plus, and while I'm in there, I can get my vaping supplies. I mean, that's all I care about.
You can get your vaping supplies. Yeah, you still got the garage sales. I hit that, but like you said, it's a seasonal thing. And in wintertime, there is absolutely nothing. But we do have like citywide garage sales that are indoors. I think one's in the fall and one's kind of in the spring. There's still snow on the ground and stuff like that. And I've found some pretty decent stuff at those. And just, I try to get to know people. I have a place downtown that it's kind of a retro clothing store, and she's been really cool when she gets games in to call me right away. And so it's kind of cool to just kind of build relationships with people a little bit, and they generally call. So
yeah, really cool.
Yeah, I'm jealous of that.
And not like everything is gold, not everything is amazing. But even at Ryan and I go to the same flea market, and I'm sure you guys have been there too.
Oh, yeah.
Not that that's the thing that sucks about being up here is we literally have like one flea market, and it's pretty much craft stuff and the same stuff that's been there like 5-6 years, and the guys just need to get it out of their house, so they decide to get a booth for a summer. And it's just getting to know some of those guys where you think that that's all they have, and then I end up giving them my number. Well, if you get anything new, let me know. And I've gotten a few calls, or like next time I'll bring all my NES games next week, where they start pulling stuff out of their like private collection or whatever, and actually fairly decent price. But sometimes when you do that gives them too much time to look up prices on eBay. So, and then it's like, wait a second, these were cheaper.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's changed a lot too. I mean, it kind of goes to show you, like you were saying, you didn't feel like there was a lot of people around into retro games, but I think there are now. You go to that flea market on one of the busy weekends, and there's multiple people there, like sitting waiting for those guys to open up, just for those retro games now, And that just was not the case. Nobody even looked at flea markets for that stuff even maybe 5 years ago,
Oh, and there were so many sellers at that place too that had games when I first started going there that I haven't seen a game in their booth in 3 years now. I mean, they're not finding the games to bring either, which is, says something about the collecting market.
Yeah. Yeah, winter is tough around here for sure for game hunting.
You got to travel a little bit. So like this weekend I'm going down to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and they have like a big indoor flea market. So
oh, sure.
I'm like, new territory, and check it out, see what's there. And the worst thing that they could have is nothing, and that's no big deal.
Yep.
So I'm used to that up here. So
you got to check out.
Yeah, Andy's getting into
there's
it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
What was it called again? The Badlands Pawn Shop.
Oh, I've totally been there.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
that is.
With like a helicopter on the roof and the shooting gallery. And
not a place you find games, but it was kind of crazy.
I haven't been in there recently, but I was in there like probably the first week that they opened. So they really didn't have a ton of stuff in there. They were kind of just getting started, and so it was really just a whole bunch of merchandise. They had like a whole bunch of T-shirts and and stuff like that. But there wasn't, I was looking for retro games, and they didn't have anything at that time.
Did you use the bathroom there?
I did not.
Oh God, I have a video. It was like my favorite thing. Andy and I took a trip. We went game hunting, and we went through there. And they have the urinals where your piss is a controller, and you control the guy skiing down a hill. I like videotaped the whole thing. It was like the highlight of my weekend. I'm like, I
guess I'll have to make a stop. So.
It's totally worth it. I highly recommend it. Best piss of your life. So what do you have plans, I guess, for the YouTube channel or upcoming videos? Got anything?
Oh, yeah. Well, I have a finds video of just the things that I found for the month of October coming out hopefully on Sunday. And got a few other things that I'm working on. I think I'm a planner. I like to plan out a ton of things and have the details. So I think a couple days ago, I just kind of worked out, okay, this is how many videos I'd like to put out. That doesn't mean I'm like, held to a gun to it. But I have like a finds video coming out. I wanted to put out Thanksgiving themed one, like 10 games I'm thankful for. Nice. Kind of like my top 10 games in a way for the NES, and really a lot of them are just NES related because that's really what my collection is. And then I think I have a couple of Retro Thursday recaps coming out as well on just some games that I've been playing and give my thoughts on them. I've been playing this strange NES game called Widget. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
That's actually been one of our...
it was a buy run burn for a while back.
Oh, really? Yeah. It's such a bizarre, strange game that in a way seems kind of unfinished. It just kind of seems glitchy and super frustrating. It is... there's not a lot of games that like will make me rage, and that is one. Like, I just want to rip the controller out, toss it up against the wall. So I have a few videos hopefully lined up that, hopefully I have time to do them. So
Widget is incredibly frustrating.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just the enemy placement is designed like they intentionally put enemies in places to not
and the bullets were like randomized depending on like how many people were on screen, like how many bullets you could have on the screen at the same time.
Yeah, super. I have gotten I haven't beaten the game. I can't beat the game, I don't think. But I probably have gotten about halfway through multiple times, and I just have to like shut it off because I'm so pissed. And
well, I can't wait for that video. Should be entertaining.
Yeah, it'll just be like AVGN, like just full on rage.
That was our third episode. We had Widget.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. Yeah. Well, Nate, we appreciate you taking the time to come on the show. So, if people are looking for you on YouTube and social media, where can they find you?
Yeah, just search me on YouTube, Cartridge Fun. Hit the subscribe button. That would help out a ton. We might get to that 60 subscribers. And Twitter and Instagram is just at Cartridge Fun. I post a lot of stuff on Twitter, just kind of things that I find and thoughts on video games and stuff like that. Instagram I'm not super active on, but you can definitely follow me.
Awesome. Yeah, for anybody listening, definitely check out Cartridge Fun. Highly recommend the YouTube channel. It's fun watching it grow. I mean, you're in a good spot where you've just got it going. So hopefully the momentum keeps rolling for you, and you'll be at a few hundred subscribers before you know it.
Yeah, appreciate it.